from Port Hardy. It's just about 12 on Friday, I believe. If I could trouble you to give me a call back when it's possible, I'm at area code 250-949-9786 or 9041-9041. That's Clark, Port Hardy, 949-9041. Cheers.
Vacation?
Yes.
You called me this morning?
Yes, I did. Thank you very much for getting back. I'm sure this is a busy time of the year for you.
Well, it is for everybody, you know.
I've been a resident for about 15 years up here in the North Island, and actually I was the one that got your good program up here. I had asked Mayor Huddleston, one of our previous mayors, since there was nothing happening here, and I happened to come across this program. And anyway, one thing led to another, and then after, I guess, things got going, et cetera, et cetera. Well, in the last little while, and this is just sort of a backdrop, there've been a lot of questions surfaced, and I've been, this isn't why I'm calling you, it's just that I'm trying to understand lines of authority.
Right.
Some interesting things. I'm an old government person, or ex-government person, maybe I'm old too from the provincial government.
Oh, really?
So I'm a little bit of experience with federal and provincial inside, etc. But
sure.
Anyway, I am a player, and I understand a little bit of the pressures that bureaucrats are under, etc., trying to please everyone, and it doesn't always work out. But anyway, a number of strange things have happened, and what I haven't been able to determine, and I can't understand why it's so difficult to find this out, but we have a board up here of Community Futures who appear to be non-elected, and trying to find out who is an authority. And we have a fishery center who has some relationship. Some days it's close, other times it's distant. And we have District of Port Hardy and the mayor who apparently have the exclusive rights to appoint people to that board.
The Fishery Center board.
For Fishery Center, yes. And again, maybe St. Peter made a declaration sometime and I wasn't aware of this, etc. But like the lines of authority or whatever you want to call seem to get cut, and it's difficult to find out where the threads are, etc. Now, I'm sitting in court a couple of weeks ago, and there's a case ongoing up here because Community Futures had charged or had the police charge or somebody.
The police did charge,
Yeah, and your name kept coming up.
My name personally?
Your name personally.
Oh, really?
Yes, you should get your resource person to get you a copy because, and the question had actually related to what I just was rambling on about was, are you really in charge of the program up here or not? Because certain things that had happened, etc., and decisions made seemed to, at least the person that was the past, I guess he was, I don't know whether it was Mr. Evans, an executive director or whatever, he was indicating that he'd talked to you about situations, etc., before, it seemed before he talked to his own board up here. And so they kept asking, well, who really is running the operation up here? So, again, this is just something I observed, and I'm just giving you my perspective. But I have a few things that I'm trying to work through up here, and I'm trying to do it in a reasonable way. But it would certainly be good to get someone to tell me or show me how this whole system is supposed to be working. Now, one of my big problems, and one last gasp here, is that we have, and this maybe puts it in a nutshell, is that we have a board that appoints itself, seemingly, okay? And I've asked nicely to find out what's happening, and we even have a statement in the old minutes of a board member who says he didn't even know why he's appointed, and he was asking the same question that I've asked. But, and that's okay if there was accountability, but then when you go to say, well, where did this money go to, and when you see it going to friends of the establishment up here, it seems over and over again, like people who are on the board are getting grants, or the dependents are getting grants, etc. you're wondering, okay, then, so the up front, this board proves itself, points itself, and then we don't even know. I mean, they publish stuff saying, well, these are the grants, but there's some indications that there's money that is going out that isn't recorded in their it isn't published in their annual report, etc. And great gobs of money are seemingly lost, and so on and so on. So anyway, that's sort of the bottom line as to what I'm trying to find out, is that how can you have, you know, a good program that you people put a lot of effort into designing and managing, get up here and it's so loosey-goosey in terms of the way it's seemingly run.
Yeah. Well, I guess I don't know that it's run loosey-goosey. I mean, you're there and you're on the ground, I guess, and you see it, and so and from your perspective, it is being run in that manner. I'm not aware that it is being run. I'm aware of the long-standing acrimony between specific individuals in the community and the CFTC, and one would assume there may have been some activities on a part of the CFTC that would generate that acrimony, and it would also appear that the individuals involved, some of them at least, are prone towards acrimony. Anyway, and there is, I understand, some proceedings before the court now. Is that correct? Is that, or has it been finalized?
It's been resolved. I thought you would have known that.
No, I wasn't aware of the final decision.
No, yeah, it was in last week's
oh, really?
two papers.
What was the final court decision?
Oh, not guilty at all.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it was thrown out, etc.
Huh. So the police. It's funny because the police did lay the charges. They had done their investigation. Anyway, whatever the case.
Well, the police. You know, this is the point. Now, if you were to call the police, as I have done, or went to visit them, they're a little ticked off because they thought that they were following through with some good stuff, and this Crown prosecutor, I just couldn't believe that we're paying tax dollars for this. When you read the transcript, what little he had to say about it, it was a big waste of taxpayers' money, as far as I could see. Now I'm just listening, just looking at the transcript, because I thought, well, when is this man going to make his point? And I mean, he maybe said of all the proceedings for the 2 days or 3 days that went on, he maybe, I'm guessing, had 15 minutes of stuff to say, and his questions weren't that significant. In fact, his witness, this Mr. Evans that came up, really turned out to be a witness for the people they were accusing. You know, things came up like this is, and you know, and I guess when you say, you know, you're saying this is hearsay or points of view.
No, I was saying it was your point of view, and I wasn't aware that
well, you have to read this transcript, because Mr. Evans allegedly, and maybe you need to have a little talk with him, because he seemed to say you knew about the situation. He tried to explain it to you, and nothing was done, and he was caught in the middle, and his own people here took issue with it. Of course, they didn't want, you know, I mean, what was the word? Oh, get this. This is amazing. The prosecutor, okay, from the Crown, said that he recognized it was a trough. He says, well, everybody wants to get into the trough, including these people that he was charging. So he seemed to agree to the fact that there was a pretty good, healthy federal trough up here for certain select people.
Yeah, I say I don't know. I mean, if the transcript says that, I guess that may be the case.
It was in the paper.
I can tell you the relationship is we provide operational funding to the CFTCs on an annual basis based on the business plan they submit to us, and they, within that business plan, have a set of performance indicators that form the basis for our contractual agreement. Beyond that, and we take a look at those, and they report to us on a quarterly basis in terms of progress towards achieving those targets. But the CFTC itself is a locally incorporated, locally owned organization, and we do not interfere with the decisions that are made locally. I don't, you know, it's funny. You know, in good times, communities will tell the government, stay away, get out of here, don't get involved, don't tell us what to do, and yet when they appear to be problems, people in the communities often say, well, why aren't you involved?